Cool. We shall see. Okay, onward and forward.
Yep.
All right. So to lay the ground for this next conversation, if you guys know and you've been paying attention, we, meaning the channel, do have first rights to a delivery date 512 gigabyte Steam Deck. Yes, we do. It's coming. We had the order in within the first 19 minutes of the order window. We're not second quarter. We're not anything yet. We are day one delivery guaranteed of one of those devices. So that's number one. So it keeps piquing my interest to see the people have gotten their hands on them. Linus had about an hour and a half with the device. Linus Tech Tips, if you guys don't know from YouTube. He did a great expose on it, did some testing with it, had it out literally doing brightness tests on the screen, actually doing, millisecond and stuff like that. But the other big conversation is Windows 11.
Yep.
On the forefront of it, there's a lot of programs out there that will and will not run currently in the stream profile as they want to on the Stream Deck, right? And that's just something else. But there's a caveat. Windows 11 also, the Microsoft Corporation, has looked at what their compatibility is with the current marketplace of tablets and other devices out there and how cloud computing has changed since the pandemic, and decided that they too will also release Windows 11 in a compatibility mode for the cloud for all ARM processor devices that are outside of their Surface lineup, which means basically you and I from home on any device will soon be able to access Windows 11 from anywhere, but it goes further than that. Also, with that said, Valve is making sure to ensure that even with the limited processor support that currently Windows actually has, they're making sure that they're going to get their AMD processor to work and make it Windows 11 ready, thus increasing the library outside of what the current stream content is that you can Steam content that you could possibly use, which is amazing. Okay, so there's a lot of information packed into this because we can perfectly start a conversation right now about Windows 11 is not compatible with everything that's out there, and basically if your system is greater than 2 years old, there's a likelihood that it will not run Windows 11. But the fact that Microsoft is kind of preempting this and saying, hey, these are the devices we're targeting, but we've pretty much said that cloud computing is going to cover the gambit, that might be a game changer for Windows 11 as an operating system. So what's your thoughts on that one, Corey?
Yeah, I mean, I'm also kind of keeping track of Windows 11. Interested. I've been interested in trying to build another PC, a new PC for a while.
Yeah.
What's kind of holding me back, honestly, is the video card shortage. We game on the side when we're not doing other stuff, and that's why we're partially interested in Steam Deck to begin with. But again, being into tech too, obviously want to look at it. And my old machine is my CPU, to be specific, is incompatible with Windows 11. There's actually some tools. Actually, I might be, if you guys are interested in that, I can find those and add them down below in the description. But there's some tools you can look and see what's compatible with Windows 11 and see if you're going to be able to do that or not. And mine is not, my current machine. So yeah, I am interested in getting a new machine. But as far as Windows 11 goes, this is pretty interesting. I don't have a subscription to Win365 for all their online, Excel and all their other productivity suite.
Yep.
But this will be something to keep track of if the shortage of parts, well, the prices I want to pay for the parts,
right,
persists for a while, and I decide to take a look at Win 11 via the cloud, which my internet speed is perfectly fine. So this might be a solution for myself or anybody else out there that has access to decent good speeds and wants to check out some of Windows 365 products, but also Win 11, but doesn't want to look at maybe getting a new PC.
Yeah, and so a couple other things to add. When I picked up the 12.9-inch new MacBook Pro with the M1 processor, my hopes is that Apple would bring in-house support for their stronger OS content, which they haven't. However, now people are saying that with this Office 365 version of Windows 11 that's going to run in the cloud, the M1 processor is going to be supported, and it will be taking full advantage of its built-in speed. On the other conversation with the Steam Deck, what they're basically saying is that there was a compatibility issue with games like Apex Legends, Destiny 2, PUBG, Fortnite, and Gears 5 that will not work currently within the profile that they're programming in as the overlay for the Steam Deck. And the reason why is because they are working with BattlEye and their easy cheat code to get support for Proton, which is one of their kind of shells for Linux right now. which
Anti-cheat
doesn't
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, which doesn't support it. So they really wanted to make sure that this is going to be able to run everything that people want to. So they're going to make sure that you're going to be able to install Windows 11 on it, and they're working on the compatibility. Big boon for Windows 11, though. I think that's huge news if you're a Windows fan.
Yeah.
That's
Accessibility.
accessibility is a massive improvement because it sounds like Microsoft has understood that they've lost out in some aspects. Their hardware game needed a lot of support to get people into the Surface environment, and now people are comfortable, comparing Surface to say a MacBook or something in that nature. But in the operating system, let's face it, Windows 10, well, very customizable, user friendly, sometimes not so much. So, my thoughts at least. And
yeah,
I mean, we run this show.
I mean, yeah.
Well, go ahead, because I was just going to say we run the show in a Mac OS environment, right? So pretty much all the show takes place, and a lot of people say this would work better in Intel, but for production purposes, Mac OS just does the trick.
I mean, there is a decent amount of issues with OBS on Mac versus OBS on an Intel machine, and that's just one program that we use OBS to go. But as far as the productivity, between us sharing things, getting stuff up, what we use to work with Mac. But anyway, point being, I guess that Win 10 it was a big improvement over previous versions of Windows.
Yes.
So that's always nice, and I am running Win 10 on my current machine, not this machine, of course. And I'm interested to see what Windows 11 can do, especially through the cloud.
So I just came up with an idea. Windows 11 running on the iPad Pro with OBS through obviously it's going to have to be dongled through a Type-C connection, but we might be able to do live streaming remotely using the iPad still, using that. Although, I know it might be really difficult. The latency issues might be
a whole
terrible.
lot of tunneling there.
Oh, yeah. I get it.
We're using a cloud OS, so on a program in the cloud, stream something
back out into the cloud. Yeah, I get it.
We're looking at you, Starlink. Send us a Starlink and we'll try all this craziness.
Again, it will make it all work. It's been really funny because actually the rocket business right about now has been a little slow, so we're waiting to cover another rocket launch ASAP. So once one goes up, we'll hopefully be ready and prepared to bring that to you.
Yeah, all Boeing's problems. That's a whole
other conversation.
But Boeing's having some issues with their Starliner. But
there you go.
Anyway.
Hey, Windows 11, tell us what you think in the comments below. If you think it's a bad deal for Microsoft to go ahead and make it so limited in what processors can run it, and if you're excited to be possibly one of the users that might benefit from using it in the cloud, and if there's a device that you think currently that you really like your best travel computing device. Mine has obviously become the 12.9 iPad Pro, but if there's one out there that you think would be awesome and part of that structure to use the 365 cloud computing, let us know. That'd be awesome. And like, subscribe, follow.
Yeah.
Could be very cool. We'll see.